Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to another video from TW White & Sons. Here we have today a CX30 registered in October 2020. Now this is the GT Sport Tech all-wheel drive model. So predominantly these cars are two-wheel drive. This is all-wheel drive. Mazda did like an all-wheel drive campaign back then and very good value for money, in fact. So we sold quite a few of these in and around that time period. But since then, production of the all-wheel drive has been reduced with obviously COVID restrictions and the microchip restrictions, etc. So this is a bit of a rare car. We don't have them that often. It's presented in Soul Red Crystal. I say we sold it new to a very good customer of ours. Had many cars from us, so if you're watching this video, thanks very much for your ongoing custom and your lovely part exchanges. Now this has covered 11,790 miles, and the previous owner was in for her second year service when we started speaking to her about a larger car because she wanted something a bit bigger. She's got a young family now. So she actually went away with a CX-5. So very happy with the brand, very happy with the dealership, and we're very happy to have her as a customer. So that's the background of the vehicle. And let's go through the specs. So it's the SKYACTIV-X engine. So it's 180 PS, so the higher powered car. Works on like a compression ignition, a lean burn. So it's on a long run, it's actually got fuel efficiency of a diesel engine, and I can say that for sure because I've driven one of these from here to Harrow. We're in Orpington here, so sort of 3/4 of the way around the M25, and I was getting about 56 to the gallon within the legal speed limits, of course. You've got this big boot here, okay? So it's a good family car. You've got the BOSE speaker. Okay, so this has got the BOSE premium sound system. You've got this, this is called a smart boot. So you've got like a cavity floor, but with this boot, you can do things like this with it. You can make sort of two compartments, so when you put your shopping in, it doesn't roll around. And amongst other things, I should imagine. Now, we've got the original overmats with the car. They're not all in good condition. You've got a 60-40 split rear seat should you need some extra room, and you can obviously pop the shelf out. Now the boot works on a button in the boot, obviously the button on the actual boot, or on the key fob. Now the car is in very nice condition. We've only given it a quick clean. Now we rushed because we're losing light here at Orpington and it's not even 4 o'clock. So we rushed through it, but the car is lovely. You've got ISOFIX anchorages on the two outer rear seats, as you can see there. That's the seat that the previous owner was using for her little one. The leather seat is perforated, and then you've got these, I really like these, sort of dark brown, sienna brown inserts. Breaks up the cabin a bit, and on the dash. So the X model as well has a sunroof. So I don't know why I'm getting excited about a sunroof. I forget I have them sometimes when I'm in cars, but I know some people really do enjoy them. You've got the BOSE premium sound system. Now when walking around the car, the only thing I noticed was a slight graze on that alloy there, which I'll have done, of course. Let's have another look. Nothing on that wheel and nothing on that wheel. So one wheel, one casualty. They've done very well indeed, because I find it very difficult to have a car with unmarked wheels, especially with under 12,000. Oh, just under 12,000 miles. But yeah, all very nice indeed. My valeter was very happy when he saw the car. I think he knew he wouldn't have to spend days on it. Electric windows, mirrors here. You've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 way, and then lumbar seat with 2 memories. Okay, that's where you can open your boot. Now I apologise if I'm rushing through this video, but we're losing light rapidly. 2 keys, you put your foot on the brake, press this button, all fires up. The dash is like one of those TFT backlit dashes, very nice indeed. And you can change, you can have analog, digital, so on and so forth. Rev counter, temperature gauge, and fuel gauge. Cruise control, you've got your cruise control here. It's also radar, so it's adaptive. It will track the car in front. And then you've got your volume control here, stereo, phone, so answer, decline, trip computer. You've also got a heads-up display here, okay, which will give you, look, speed limit, speed that you're traveling. It'll give you sat nav, warnings will also be displayed up there. Okay, now there was a little facelift of these cars, and basically you got less. They deleted the CD player. This has a CD player, so you'd be pleased to know it has a CD player. You've got a USB down here, USB over here. You've got all the smartphone compatibility, so if you've got an Android, Apple phone, you can navigate that. Automatic lights, wipers. The lights are adaptive. Now these lights are so good, you can see more on an unlit road at night than you can in the day. Hope that makes sense. And the lights will actually turn as you turn corners, yeah, to give you that maximum visibility. That's one thing. I'm a bit of a classic car man myself. I must say the modern cars and their lights are amazing, especially if they're LED and adaptive, which the majority of our Mazdas are now, coming with it as standard. In fact, Mazda are very, very generous with their spec. You've got climate control, you've got a heated steering wheel, heated seats, air conditioning, of course. You've got a 6-speed automatic gearbox. Now, this is a 6-speed in a traditional sense that it is seamless and doesn't roll back on hills. But it's 6-speed, it changes very quickly, it's very fuel efficient. Okay, you can drive it in a manual mode like so, or using these flappy paddles on the steering wheel. Me myself, I like an auto. I like an auto because I just stick it in drive and off I go. This has got your settings, your multimedia commander, various bits and bobs. So I'm going to go through this. So information, things like fuel efficiency, yeah. Now this car is a mild hybrid and it has cylinder deactivation, so it will go down to 2 cylinders when sort of coasting to save fuel. As I say, that's how it gets that superb fuel consumption. That's a battery there. There's like a secondary battery capacitor, I believe is the technical word, which will store a charge very quickly, so it will take a charge quickly. So when you're slowing down, braking, that will charge up, and then the energy from that will be used to do the lights, the wipers, the heater, etc. Less strain on the engine, uses less fuel, and better for the environment. Okay, so that's how a mild hybrid works. It's not exclusive to Mazda. If you want a better explanation, probably if you went onto YouTube, but yeah, that's how it works. So any energy loss from braking, slowing down, you know, for a set of traffic lights, etc., is stored up and then used for other things. So yeah, really efficient. Okay, so we've covered that. There's an online, like not online, but a maintenance information. In fact, let's have a look at this owner's manual. Okay, so look, get to know your Mazda, etc., etc. I mean, how good is that? I hate getting a manual out. Yeah, it's fantastic. Your FM, AM, DAB, Bluetooth, USBs for audio and video. I've never watched a film or anything like that, so I'd like someone to try that out and maybe let us know how that goes. Oh, center force radio. Yeah. Let's have a look. So look, station list. You got, look at all the amount of BBC Heart stations. So DAB, fantastic. There's always something on there. I'd say there's something for everyone on there. Communication, once paired up, you know, you can access your call list, etc., etc. Okay. Now the nav, it's a really wonderful sat nav. If you've watched my videos before, you know exactly what I'm going to say. I have driven to the Tatra Mountains, so that's on the natural border of Poland, Czech Republic, and Slovakia, and it's been absolutely fine. You can just search by a postcode. When you're abroad, I tend to search obviously country, town, street name, but really easy to use. But because this car is equipped with CarPlay, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, you can use the navigation system of your choice. I know a lot of people do prefer using them. Now, in-vehicle displays, you've got the heads-up display, you've got the center display here. Sound settings, audio settings, a BOSE system, it's fantastic. Come and have a listen. Safety settings, you've got driver assistance. So you've got radar cruise control, traffic sign, speed limit sync. You can do that. I've never actually done that. I might have a little play around. Audible cruise confirmation, all these nice settings, driver monitoring. So it'll actually, I think that's the camera there, it will monitor your facial expressions, and should the car think that you are fatigued, it will tell you to take a break, and it actually comes up on the screen. It's quite funny actually. You're reading my mind, but it looks at your facial expressions. You've got front cross traffic alert, rear cross traffic alert. So if you're coming out of a parking space or your driveway, someone's coming across, it'll warn you, it'll bleep, lights will light up in the wing mirrors, and the same if you're reversing. You've got a lane departure warning system. If you're to veer out of a lane, it will also warn you. If you're not indicating, of course, and that will vibrate in the steering wheel, but you can change the alert type to bleeps as well. You've got blind spot monitoring. So if someone was to undertake you or overtake you, it'll light up. If you do actually go to pull out into one of those lanes, it will bleep as well. Okay, so this is a super safe car. In fact, I remember when this car came out, it did win an award of, I think it was the safest car on the road. Yeah, so certainly a car that I'd like to maybe you know, have my family in, you know, real sort of family car, and without being too boring, of course, because it's a Mazda. You've got brake support, 360 camera, parking sensors. It goes on and on and on. Okay, look at that 360 camera. That's why I've got in this bay here. Look, I'm in the lines. That's because I'm a very skillful driver and I've done this 1,000 times. But also, it does help with those these lines. Now, what are they called? Dynamic lines. Yeah. So look, as I turn, it'll help. Okay. Now, this is a used, approved Mazda. I'll share the service history with you. Hopefully you can see this with the lighting as poor as it is. So there you go. Look, 2 miles on the 16th of October. The car when it came off a transporter. Then a year later, first service. A year after that, just more than a year after that, 11,431 miles. It was serviced. So that was only 2-3 weeks ago. Okay, it's now done 11,790 miles. Car is fully serviced, but we still will put the car through the workshop. Make sure, you know, we check everything's okay or good. Make sure, you know, there isn't a nail in a tyre or anything silly like that. Okay, so it will have a full Mazda check, and then it will come with, let me see, so what are we now, 2022? So we'll top the warranty up for a full year. So we have to top it up a few months. Okay, so you've got a year's Mazda ZZ Plus used car warranty with roadside assistance. Okay, so you've got the full backup there. Now, we're a Mazda dealer, and you probably assume that we don't really want Mazdas in part exchange. No, we want any car you have, and the main reason is because it makes my job more interesting. No, not at all. We want your part exchange. We value your part exchange, and we do sell many other used cars. And also, I was kind of joking earlier, it makes things interesting because we get to see, you know, other cars and learn and bits and pieces like that, and help grow our customer base, really. So part exchange is extremely welcome. You will get the best deal with a part exchange. We got great finance facilities. We've got all the dealer facilities, extended warranty, delivery, etc, etc. Okay, so if you'd like any further info, photos, videos, any information at all on this car, please do not hesitate to ask. We are more than happy to go away and send them to you. You know, I might not have mentioned something on here that this car may have that might be important to you. I can go away and find out if it does or does not, or and come back to you. I'd just like to say as well, if it is out of our regular business hours, don't hesitate to inquire. You can always leave us a voicemail, drop us an email, and we shall try to come back to you outside those that are regular business hours. We do appreciate a lot of people will be looking at cars, you know, in those sort of hours. Okay, now if you have dealt with TW Whites before, I hope you've been very pleased. If you haven't and you're not unsure of, you know, what sort of company you're doing business with, please do check out our reviews. It'll give you a good idea. We do a lot of business that's out of area. I've had to get my dad out of retirement to do these jobs, and you know, you'd probably be, you know, you'd feel a bit better if you knew the reputation. So do check out our reviews. Okay, so I want to thank you for watching the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed it, and I'm sorry I've rushed it through, but we've almost lost light now, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you. Bye-bye.